So I've been asking the question, what was our ambassador doing in Libya? He knew that violence had increased. He knew that security was absolutely horrible. The Red Cross had shut down all of its operations. Great Britain shut down its operations. Yet he stayed out, and not in Tripoli, but in the worst place he could be. On the day of the attacks, Ambassador Stevens was meeting here. With whom? What was going on? Well, it sounds a little crazy. It sounds complex, but it is neither. Let me see if I can break it down. President Obama was friendly to this guy, Muammar Gaddafi, in Tripoli. But things changed and realized he had to go. There were a couple of ways he could achieve that goal. You can either use the might of the American military and gather an international coalition to help, or in the Middle East, the thinking is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So make buddies with those people who hate Gaddafi just as much and pay them to do the dirty work for him. So he did that. And there were other people that wanted Gaddafi out. And we decided to work with them. Al-Qaeda. This is the people that the media routinely called the Libyan opposition. We told you when we were at Fox, this is not good. These guys are Al-Qaeda. They weren't made up solely of freedom-fighting Thomas Jeffersons. The opposition was made up of several Islamic terrorist organizations, including Al-Qaeda, and of course the Libyan Islamic, I think this one is Hamas, is it not? Or Hezbollah, and then the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, which was headed by this guy. Now, like I said, we reported, and everybody reported the Al-Qaeda links, widely reported at the time. But the decision was made, support the opposition forces. But we needed a point man. Well, in March 2011, Ambassador Stevens became the point man for Barack Obama, the official liaison to this terror-linked opposition. They worked directly with each other. In fact, they worked directly with this guy. They were partners in it. His name is Belhaj. Well, we helped him get weapons, and then Gaddafi got dragged around the streets, and he was gone. Now, later that year, according to the Telegraph, Belhaj met with somebody else, and he met here in Syria, the Free Syrian Army. They needed weapons in Syria. Well, he didn't actually meet in Syria, he met here, and this is important, to meet in Turkey. They talked about getting supplied with weapons, and it was one shipment that we know of, over 400 tons of weapons, which included surface-to-air anti-aircraft missiles and RPGs and rocket-propelled grenades, and they put it on a ship. You'll never guess where that ship came from. Benghazi, where the ambassador had been running guns. Now, who is the leader of the organization called the Libyan National Council for Relief and Support to deliver the weapons? This guy, the guy who was the captain of the ship. The weapons were reported by Reuters to have been used by the Syrian opposition in Syria for the shooting down of the Syrian helicopters and fighter jets that you've seen on TV. So let me recap. Obama wants Gaddafi out. He decides to use Islamic extremists to get the job done. He hires Ambassador Stevens to broker the deals. Gaddafi gets ousted, which forces the shift to Syria. The guy who was his point man here in Benghazi hires a ship to put all of the weapons into Turkey. Obama did all of this because first he wanted this guy, and now he wants Assad. Okay, all right. Why does he want Assad? Well, he's a bad guy. But Obama, again, has decided to use Islamic extremists to get the job done. And he wants to get Assad, and so he uses Ambassador Stevens as the point man with this guy, and they funnel through Turkey the weapons to the jihadists on the border. Obama has made no secret of his relationship with this guy. He's the prime minister of Turkey. There is no way this is happening in his country unless he knows about it. And this guy talks to this guy. They have talked on the phone 13 times just in the last year. In fact, they're good friends. This is the man that President Obama called when he was first elected. This guy. The New York Times reported back in June that a small number of CIA officers are operating secretly in Turkey, helping allies decide which Syrian opposition fighters across the border will receive arms to fight the Syrian army. Do you know who he chose to funnel the weapons? This guy, who was working with him, wants to send them over here. Who did we pick to be the group of people that would say, these are good guys, these are bad guys? The Muslim Brotherhood. Muslim Brotherhood. By the way, this guy hates this guy with a passion. It's personal. And what's really strange is this guy has now aligned himself with Iran. And who else has aligned himself with Iran? Russia. Back to the beginning. See if you have this. 9/11. Who was Stevens meeting with? A representative from Turkey. Where we are currently funneling weapons to radical Islamic groups who want to destroy America. This is a very dangerous circle. At least in the Iran-Contra scandal, we had hostages, and you could kind of understand why someone would do it. But I don't understand what this man's doing. All we're getting in this, besides dead Americans, is confusion of who we are and which side we're on. And as the president would say, that's not really optimal.